All right, Commerce and Labor is about to begin. Clerk want to call the roll? Vote aye. All right.
Mr. Chair, you have a
somebody-
quorum.
Okay. There are 5 bills that we've got to refer to other committees, which is where they belong. House Bill, and we'll do 3 of them in a block. House Bill 223, that's Coiner's bill, Delegate Coiner's bill to local government. House Bill 443, Delegate Bulva's bill to local government, and Delegate Murphy's bill 445 to local government. Do I have a motion, because it's a recorded vote?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to send those 3 bills to local government. All right.
As 13, no zero, 1 abstention.
Okay. Delegate McGuire's bill 358 also needs to go to another committee, and that's General Laws and Technology. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
All right, a motion and a second to send HB 358, Delegate McGuire's bill, to General Laws and Technology. Vote aye. Okay.
As 14, no zero.
All right, and the last of the transfers is House Bill 892, dealing with Reggie to Agriculture and Natural Resources. This motion and a second to refer those to Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee. All those in favor, vote aye.
As 14, no zero.
All right, the next group, and we've been told to do this individually, is bills that were identical to what we had here in committee. And we'll start with House Bill 203, Delegate Weber's bill, which was identical to Senate Bill 496. That was Senator Lewis's bill, and that passed the committee 15-0 and the Senate 39-0. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion and a second to report. All those in favor, vote aye.
As 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero. Bill is reported. The next also is Delegate Weber's bill. That's House Bill 209, and that's dealing with credit unions. That's identical to Senator Bell's Senate Bill 329, which passed the committee 15-0 and the Senate 40-0. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right. All those in favor of reporting House Bill 209, vote aye. All right.
As 14, no zero.
Bill is reported. The next is House Bill 225, Delegate Coiner's bill, and that is similar to Senator Vogel's bill, which was Senate Bill 321. That passed the committee 14-0, and the floor 39-0. It's Electric Cooperatives Net Energy Metering Bill. All right, do I hear a motion?
I think that's actually the bill on health insurance for autism, no, sir?
What?
Mr. Chair, that bill is actually the bill that defines autism, and it's identical to Senator Vogel's bill, and I've moved to report.
Second.
Hold on. Yes, I was looking at it wrong. It was health insurance. Yes, dealing with autism. My mistake. All right, and we have a motion and a second to report Senate Bill 225. All those in favor say aye.
Ayes 14, no zero.
All right, now we get to that bill I described. That bill is Delegate Head's bill, and it's 266, and it's identical to Senate Bill 505 that passed the committee 15-0 and the full Senate 39-0. All right, there is a motion and a second to report House Bill 266. All those in favor, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, it's reported. All right, next is Delegate Byron's bill. That's that's House Bill 268, and dealing with credit unions and priority of shares. That is similar to Senator Bell's bill, which was Senate Bill 326. That passed the committee 15-0 and the floor 37-0.
Move to report.
All right, a motion. Do I hear a second? Second. And a second to report House Bill 268, Delegate Byron's bill. All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero, bill's reported. Next is Delegate Freitas's bill. That's House Bill 320, and it's identical to Senator Peake's bill, which was Senate Bill 173. And I'm showing here it was
Mr. Chair, what that bill
Excuse
does
me,
is it
420, excuse me,
320.
House Bill 320.
House Bill
It's the same as Senate Bill 173.
Mr. Chair, this bill freezes the minimum wage. It prevents the next increase to $12 an hour. Freezes it at 11.
Right, and that was passed by indefinitely.
I move we PBI the bill.
All right, there's a motion and a second to pass by indefinitely House Bill 320, dealing with minimum wage. All those in favor of passing it by indefinitely, that's House Bill 320, vote aye.
Ayes 12, noes 3.
Ayes 12, noes 3. The bill is PBI'd. All right. The next bill is House Bill 360. And that's Delegate Fowler. It's identical to Senate Bill 428. That was Senator Donovan's bill. And that dealt with health insurance and the carrier disclosure of certain information. It passed the committee 15-0 and the full floor 40-0. Do I have a motion? Moved and second to report House Bill 360, Delegate Fowler's bill. All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no zero.
Ayes 15, nay 0, it's reported. Next is House Bill 414. Now, House Bill 414 is similar to Senate Bill 280, which was Senator Evans' bill. And that bill, Senate Bill 280, Senator Evans' bill, and this deals with electric utilities, local reliability data reporting. It passed committee 14-0 and the full floor 40-0.
Move to report.
There's a motion and a second to report House Bill 414, Delegate Herring's bill. All those in favor, vote aye. All right.
Ayes 15, no zero.
Ayes 15, nay 0, it's reported. All right. Next is House Bill 675. That's Delegate Hope's bill. And that's similar to Senate Bill 422, Senator Edwards' bill.
I believe it's identical, sir.
Or identical, excuse me. That was dealing with health insurance and the tobacco surcharge, okay? passed the committee 10-4 and one abstention, and it passed the floor 37-1.
Move to report.
Motion and a second to report. All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no zero.
You want to let it go by? Okay. On the, we're still working on HB 768. There's some changes being made. So I want to move that without objection, that go by for the day. All those in favor of allowing it to go by for the day, say aye. Aye. Okay. All right, that was 768. The next is House Bill 774, also Delegate Hodges. That's similar to Senate Bill 499, Senator Lewis. And that passed the committee 15-0, and the floor was 40-0. All right. That's the real estate health plan. Okay, all those in favor of supporting House Bill 774, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Ayes 15, no zero.
Okay. Ayes 15, nays 0. The bill is reported. Next is House Bill 842. That's Delegate Sickles, identical to SB 338, Senator Barker's. Hold on here. Senator Barker's bill passed the Senate, passed the committee 15-0, and the floor 40-0. That's reinsurance, Commonwealth Health reinsurance. All right, do I have a motion? Motion and a second to report House Bill 842, Delegate Sickles' bill. All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no zero.
All right, 842 passes 15-0. All right, next we move to 884. That's Delegate Byron's bill, identical to Delegate Mason's Senate Bill 195.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Stevens the Bureau of Insurance approached us with a couple of adjustments that we want to make on both sides, and so Mr. Stevens has a substitute to report to do such.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sarah Mason. Substitute should be available online. It removes some references to a sponsoring association where the existing code refers to bona fide association. It also changes a code section, corrects a code section reference, and then it removes the definition that is unused.
And that's agreed, that was agreed by both sides.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so I agree. I move the substitute be adopted with those technical changes.
There's a motion and a second to adopt the substitute. Is it the form of a substitute?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? All right. We now have the substitute before us to 884, Delegate Byron's bill.
Move to report.
All right, there's a motion and a second to report House Bill 884, Delegate Byron's bill.
Sir. Ayes 15, no zero.
Ayes 15, nays 0. Bill is reported. All right, next we get to Delegate Kilgore's bill. That's 892. Okay, yes, we did. We sent that to Ag. That's correct. 892 to Ag. House Bill 1042. That's identical to my Senate Bill 562. And that was the workman's comp. and that extended, it was a brief bill extending the time for filing complaints. And that passed the committee 12-3, and it was 25-14 on the floor. All right, there's a motion and a second to report House Bill 1042, identical to 562. All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Ayes 13, noes 2.
Ayes 15, noes 2. Bill is reported. Next is Delegate Byron's bill. That's 1081, and it's a health insurance calculation of an enrollee's contribution and deals with high deductible plans. Now, that was identical to Senator Donovan's bill, Senate Bill 443. Her bill passed committee 15-0 and 39-0 on the floor. Motion and a second to report House Bill 1081. All those in favor vote aye. All right.
Ayes 15, no 0.
Ayes 15, no 0. House Bill 1081 is reported. Next is House Bill 1153, Delegate Ware's bill. That is identical to Senator Deed's SB 303, which passed committee 15-0 and floor 37-0. All right, dealing with mortgage brokers, okay? All right, there's a motion. Do I hear a second? Second. And a second to report House Bill 1153, Delegate Ware's bill. All those in favor vote aye.
Ayes 15, no 0.
Ayes 15, nay 0. Bill's reported. Next is Delegate Byron's 1201, which was similar to Cosgrove's, Senator Cosgrove's 646. That was PBI'd here 11-4.
Move the PBI.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to pass by indefinitely House Bill 1201, Delegate Byron's bill. All those in favor of passing it by, definitely vote aye. Okay.
Ayes 12, noes 3.
All right, now what we're going to be doing is moving to bills that are similar, and the motion would be, for the most part, to conform, okay? All right, the first bill is House Bill 45. That's Delegate Ware's bill. Yeah, you can come up. Try a minute or less, okay? Since we've had a hearing on a bill pretty similar to this, there won't be, public testimony.
It's a very simple bill Senator Barker had. It would add athletic trainers to a group of providers that would be included under insurance contracts for the services that they provide that are covered and that are included in the repertoire of what they do. That's the bill, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
is there a motion to conform? Motion and a second to conform Senator Barker's bill. That's HB 45. All those in favor of conforming it, say aye. Aye. All right, now I need a motion. All right, there's a motion, second report, House Bill 45. All those in favor vote aye.
Ayes 14, noes 1.
Ayes 14, nays 1. It's reported.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next bill is, I'll tell you while you're up here, you have 1173, right?
Yes.
Which is, hold on. That's similar to 631.
Senator Barker.
That's Senator Barker's bill. your bill is still in negotiations, Senator Barker?
Yes, but we're.
That's the overtime
we're
bill,
very-
right?
We're very close to agreement on things. I think we'll get that done pretty quickly. So I talked with Delegate Ware, and we could conform his to my bill now, and then we'll, once we got everything sealed, we'll get it done in both
So
bills.
we'll conform it to his as
Right.
it is now.
Right.
If there's anything that really seriously needs to be hammered out, and go to conference.
Right.
Okay?
That was my understanding, and I know
Right.
you all had
And,
made some.
Barker's bill passed committee 15-0 and the floor 32-8.
Mr.
All
Chairman.
right, so the motion is to conform.
Mr.
Do I hear a second?
I'm sorry, just
Motion,
Senator Obenshain.
quick question.
Sure.
Am I correct in understanding that by conforming, the only change that is going to be made is including those auxiliary airport employees?
yes, that's the substantive thing, and then there are a couple of technical amendments to clarify basically what's covered and what's not.
So, and Mr. Chairman, I don't know whether it's possible. I support the technical changes, but I don't support conforming to include this group that is not covered under the federal legislation that takes us out of
I know
conformity.
that,
Could we take those just in a different block so I can vote no on that?
Well, it's not going to be block, we're voting on them individually. In other words, the motion would be to conform his bill currently to what Barker has. They
I
still-
understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor of conforming 1173 to Senate Bill 631, say aye. Aye. All right, and opposed? All right, raise your hand. All right, and this, I think, has to go to finance. Okay, the motion would be, and by the way, pass the committee 15-0 and the floor 32-8. The motion would be to report and refer to finance. All right,
Second.
there's a motion and a second, report and refer to finance. All those in favor vote aye.
Ayes 13, noes 1, 1 abstention.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members.
there you go. All right, next is House Bill 182. That's Delegate Bloxham's bill. And that is very similar to Senate Bill 500, Senator Lewis's bill. They got that's not a transfer bill, is it? I know.
Yeah.
But his bill came out of here, right? Or did it came out of ag?
But I think it. If we just conform it, Mr. Chairman, I think. It could have come here. Yeah, there was some debate where it was
Okay.
gonna go.
All right, well then, let's take the motion will be to conform House Bill 182 to Senate Bill 500. Okay, that passed Ag, and Conservation and Natural Resources, 14-1, and the floor 38-1. All right, do I hear a motion to report, to conform first? We've conformed, okay. All right, now a motion to report. All right, all those in favor of reporting, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no 0.
They really are. Okay, all right. Next is House Bill 270. That's Senate Bill 219.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I think there's still work on that. Could I ask that that bill go by for the day?
All right. Senate Bill 270 will go by for the day. All right. Next is 341, House Bill 341. And let me turn to it on my page. Here we go. And that is Delegate Freitas's bill. and that's similar to Senate Bill 721. This was public employees, dealing with public employees' labor union dues. This was passed by indefinitely by a vote of 12-3. Is there a motion? All right, there's a motion and a second to pass it by, Delegate Freitas's bill by indefinitely. All those in favor of passing by indefinitely, say aye. Vote aye, I mean.
Ayes 13, noes 2.
Ayes 13, no 2. The bill is PBI'd. All right.
Like that? I like the silent.
Okay, next is House Bill.
He has another bill.
Two more.
Yeah, but we're in this similar bills right now. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Yeah, we're gonna stay with this for, so Delegate Freitas, you want to sit down. All right, next is House Bill 421. That's Delegate Delaney's bill, and that is similar to Delegate Evans' bill, Senator Evans' bill, which was Senate Bill 271.
I would move that we conform HB 421 to SB 271.
Okay. All right, there's a motion to conform House Bill 421 to 271. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion and a second to report Delegate Delaney's bill 421. And remind you, it passed the committee 15-0 and the floor 39-0. All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no 0.
Ayes 15, no 0. It's reported. Okay. Next is 431, House Bill 431, Delegate Murphy's bill. That is similar to Senate Bill 449, which was Senator Boysko's bill, which passed committee 15-0 and the floor 40-0. Do I hear a motion to conform?
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to conform. Did you want to say something? Oh. All right. The Boysko's bill passed committee 15-0 and the floor 40-0. Do I hear a motion? All right, there's a motion. And report and refer to finance. Yeah, I see it here. Report and refer to finance. All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no 0.
It's reported and referred to finance. All right. Next is House Bill 558. That's Delegate O'Quinn's bill. And that is similar to Senate Bill 565, which is Senator Servell's bill. I need Senator Servell's bill.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Servell. Mr. Chairman, we have a substitute which both conforms it to mine and cleans up a couple technical fixes, which I believe Delegate O'Quinn is fine with all that. I would move that substitute. Tom's prepared it.
Okay. There's been a motion and a second to adopt the substitute to House Bill 558. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. There's a motion to report. Do I hear a second? And a second. All those in favor of reporting the substitute to 558, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Ayes 15, no 0.
Ayes 15, nay 0. It's reported. All right, next is House Bill 657. That's Delegate Wampler's bill. That is similar to Senate Bill 120, which is Senator Hackworth's bill. Okay. Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman, I believe the committee's heard testimony on this bill already. However, we did have a substitute which amends the second section of this bill.
Mr. Chairman?
Senator Evans.
Could I ask Delegate Wampler what the amendment to the second section does?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Eben, so the bill is relating to the cleanup of gob in Southwest Virginia. This is old reject coal that's left from past practices of coal mining. It's polluting our waterways, and we seek to clean it up. The first section of the bill asks the Department of Energy to study and find out where these gob piles are located in Southwest Virginia and the amount that's left, so that hopefully we can come back in a future session and tackle the cleanup of that gob in the future. The second section relates to coal ash ponds in Virginia, and we want to also study how those can be used for public infrastructure projects going forward. If we can clean them up, they do have a productive use, and we hope to return them to that. Mr. Chair, a substitute would accomplish that.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to adopt the substitute? All right,
Chairman.
motion and a Senator Newman.
Does this take in the Finance Committee
Yeah,
amendments?
it has to be referred.
Different than the finance,
Okay,
but it needs to go upstairs.
Yeah.
okay, got it, thank you.
Okay, we've adopted the substitute. The motion would be to report and refer to finance. All right, you've heard the motion and a second to report House Bill 657, the substitute to that, and refer to finance. All those in favor, vote aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
15, no, 0.
Ayes 15, nays 0. It's reported and referred to finance. All right, next is 773 of Delegate Hodges. And 773 is similar to Senator Donovan's 427, which passed here at a committee 15-0 and the floor 39-0.
Persuaded by his presentation, I move to report.
This one as is, the Senate version.
Yeah, I saw. Okay. All right. You've heard now the motion to report, and there's a second. Senate Bill, or House Bill 773. All those in favor of reporting, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no, 0.
Ayes 15, no 0. The bill is reported. All right. Next is House Bill 883. That's Delegate Byron's bill. That's similar to Senate Bill 374, Senator Obenshain's bill. And that was dealing with project labor agreements. And it was passed by indefinitely in committee, 12-3. There's a motion and a second to pass by indefinitely House Bill 883. All those in favor of passing by indefinitely House Bill 883, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Ayes 12, noes 3.
Ayes 12, noes 3. The bill is 883 is passed by indefinitely. The next is
Mr. Chair,
Senator Barker.
yes, having voted on the prevailing side, I'd like to reconsider the vote on House Bill 768 from Delegate Hodges. That was
On
passed
which
by
bill?
768. It's the one that deals with the Realtors Health and Health Association plan, so. I know,
Yeah,
but
I
I
know.
want to bring it back.
That's Delegate Hodges' bill.
Yes. He and I have been working on this bill, and so we have 3 amendments to offer, and we'll do that, so, after we reconsider.
Well, all right, all those in favor of reconsidering the vote by which we reported House Bill
No,
760.
it wasn't reported, it was passed by for the.
Oh, it's passed by for the
Right,
day.
right, yeah.
All right, that motion by which we passed it by for the day, vote aye to reconsider. All right,
All right, and Delegate Hodges couldn't be here, but I've been deputized to.
you what?
Delegate Hodges is not in the room, but he'd asked me to have this taken care of. And Tom Stevens has amendments,
Could you get closer to your mic?
just barely, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Barker, 2 amendments on the bill on line 143 after G, strike A, insert notwithstanding the provisions of subsection J, A. And then on line 175 after V, notwithstanding the provisions of subsection A of section 38.2-3451, providing that a large group market plan is not required to provide coverage for essential health benefits in a manner that exceeds the requirements of the Federal Affordable Care Act as of January 1, 2019, be subject to the requirements to. So the two amendments ensure that subsection J doesn't trump the bill, and then the second amendment ensures that these plans are required to provide essential health benefits.
And I move the two amendments be adopted.
There's a motion and a second to adopt the two amendments that just been read by Mr. Stevens. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, now the bill is back before us.
And
Senator Barker?
I move to report the bill.
All right, there's now a motion and a second to report House Bill 768 as amended.
Right.
All those in favor, vote aye.
Ayes 15, no zero.
Okay. All right. We're now back to, this would be House Bill 889. That's Delegate Kilgore's bill. And that is similar to Senate Bill 538, which is Senator Peake's bill, having to do with non-payment of wages defense of a contractor. Senator Peake's bill passed the committee 14-1 and the floor 37-3. All right.
Mr. Chairman? Servo.
You want to conform?
Yeah,
I need a motion.
that's my motion.
And there's a motion and a second to conform. Senate Bill, House Bill 889 to Senate Bill 538. All those in favor of conforming, vote aye, say aye. Aye. All right, opposed? All right, the bill is now before us.
Mr. Chairman, can I speak to that motion briefly?
Yeah, sure.
And this might be more of a question for Mr. Stevens. The existing law only applies if a general contractor knew or should have known that the workers on their job sites were not being paid all wages due. This bill has to do with the liability for subcontractors. What is the substitute that now conforms to Senator Peake's bill do? Does that relieve people of responsibility or just provide evidence?
Yes, sir. It changes as a valid defense to provide written certification as evidence.
So in other words, we could provide written, even if a contractor knew or should have known that the workers on their job sites were not being paid all wages due, they can sign a statement saying and that would be evidence. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman?
Senator Servo.
We worked on this heavily in subcommittee, and basically the original bill said that the presentation of the paper constituted a complete defense to a suit. We amended that to say, to the compromise that we made last session, where it's just a piece of evidence that you can put in front of a jury, but it's not a complete defense. The only thing the bill, as amended, does is it extends the liability to subcontractors and not just generals.
Thank you.
Okay. We've conformed it, and there's a motion, I believe, to report in a second. All right. That would be House Bill 889, Delegate Kilgore's bill. All those in favor of reporting that, vote aye.
Yes.
Ayes 14, noes 1.
Ayes 14, noes 1. It's reported. The next is House Bill 925. That's Delegate Rome's bill, and that is pretty similar to Senate Bill 405, Senator Barker's bill, which was reported out of here 14-0-1 and passed the floor 40-0. And I need a motion to conform.
Mr. Chairman.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we've been working on this, and we're going to take two different tracks is what we want to do. So I want to have Delegate Rome's bill come out of here the way it left the House, and we'll take it from there. And that's because there's money in the budget to support mine, but not on the House side to support hers. And so we'll figure it out to get it resolved in the process here.
So, Mr. Chairman,
So what's your suggestion?
My suggestion is just to report Delegate Rome's bill.
As is?
As is.
So moved. Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to report the bill as is. Okay. All right, you've heard the motion and the second. All those in favor of reporting House Bill 925, vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Thank you, Delegate Rome.
Ayes 15-0.
All right. Let's see. Next is 1156. That's Delegate Byron's bill. And that is similar to Senator Favola's bill, which passed out of here 14-1, and the floor 37-2 with one abstention.
Move to conform Delegate Byron's bill to SB 15 unless.
Technical difference. Listen to the D.
The word "the."
A.
Oh, so you like the
I
way it
messed up
is?
2 words.
Two.
A V and an A.
So we should report it the way it is?
So are you offering up amendments?
Mr. Chair, Senator Favola's bill and Senator Byron's bill are different in that in Delegate Byron's bill, I made a mistake on 2 words, a "the" and an "a." And so if you adopt those amendments, it will be conformed to Senator Favola's bill.
So moved
All
the
right.
amendments.
The amendments have been, there's a motion, I need a second, and a second to adopt the amendments offered by that you heard read by Mr. Stevens. All those in favor of adopting those amendments, say aye. Aye. All right, opposed? All right, one no.
I move the report as amended.
All right, there's a motion to report as amended, House Bill 1156, and a second. All those in favor of reporting it, 1156 as amended, vote aye. All right, report it.
Ayes 15-0.
Okay. The last in this category is 1173. We've already done it. Where? All right. Now, right, we pass that out. All right, now, House Bill 296, Delegate McNamara here. Minimum wage. Okay.
Should I
All right,
begin?
yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. So I would like to make a couple quick points before I begin. First off, if you look at the title says that this bill, House Bill 296, removes certain provisions related to the increasing state wage. I would like to suggest that what I am presenting and what passed out of the House is a substitute. The substitute does not change or repeal any of the minimum wage laws, including the escalators. The minimum wage law stays exactly the same as it currently exists. So I just wanted to clarify that. What this bill does is it adds just a few words in what is considered wages, and it includes in certain situations what is paid for a health care benefit for a worker as a wage. And let me explain why that's important. First of all, it assumes that that employer is already paying $11 an hour to that employee, but it does provide the flexibility for the employee in a couple of pretty obvious, well, not obvious, but in a couple of situations. So let's say the person is working as a part-time employee, does not qualify for health care, but also does not qualify for the free exchange. That health care benefit may be worth quite a bit more to them than the $1 or $2 an hour. So it allows them to use that option. Similarly, a small employer that is not covered by the health care mandate gives them that opportunity to better serve their workers with health care when it makes sense for that worker. That's the bill in front of you, and I would welcome any questions.
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Sewell.
Even though the health care is important, it makes sense to them, but what good is health care if you ain't got enough money to take care of the rest of your needs? So what I'm hearing you saying that the health care is better than what they are making by providing the health care. Why can't we do both?
Well, it'd be perfect to do both, but right now in the Commonwealth of Virginia, some employers are required to provide health care. There are many employers that are not required to provide health care, whether it's a part-time worker or whether it's a very small business. This gives an opportunity in those situations for the small business or that business that has a part-time employer to supplement that person's wages with a health care benefit instead of additional dollars when it makes sense. It still maintains the minimum wage at $11.
All right. Senator Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Delegate, does this mean that you could, if you had a health insurance policy provided to you that was a good policy, you might not have any money left to eat rent, pay rent, or any other needs?
In no scenario would you be making less than $11 an hour, Senator.
Cash.
Yes.
So it provides a minimum wage of cash, but you would take the money off the top that they're providing in health insurance. And
So only in excess of $11. So
Thank
they
you.
have to have their $11 in their paycheck. In excess of $11, it provides that opportunity.
So if the minimum wage got raised in the future, he could stay at $11 an hour and he could count, he'd be given the option of counting that as additional wages?
So Senator, you're exactly right, but I would also say that right now there's a reenactment clause at $12.50. So really, the health care benefit is quite a bit more than $1.50. So I would say there's no scenario that the employer is not, or the employee is not well cared for.
Any other questions? Those in the audience, I'll give each side 2 minutes. Speak in favor of the bill.
If you're in the Zoom room and wish to speak in favor of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, Brett Vassy, CEO of the Virginia Manufacturers Association. We support the bill, and just for context, particularly in rural Virginia and our small manufacturers, we compete on benefits, not necessarily on the hourly, and we are exactly in the same position. We have some family businesses that at $11 an hour, their benefits for insurance are substantially more than the $1.50. All we're asking for is that recognition that it's a lot better to have $11 an hour plus full benefits than just $11 an hour. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Senator Edwards.
Yeah, following up on the previous question, if the minimum wage goes to $12.50, would this be between 11 and 12.50? Could they count that as part of health care?
Mr. Chairman, Senator, is our understanding the way the bill's structured is that if your health insurance benefit was at least that much, yes, it would help you calculate that benefit to your $12.50.
Even though the minimum wage goes to $12.50?
Yes.
So you get paid 11 plus, I see. Thank you.
For instance, I pay $11,000 almost per employee, even in my organization, for health benefits. It's a pretty substantial benefit we're asking to be recognized.
I'm cutting the line. Julia Hammond on behalf of the National Federation of Independent Business, and we strongly support the bill.
Eric Risen with the Virginia Chamber of Commerce, and we support this flexibility for employers. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Robert Melvin with the Virginia Restaurant, Lodging, and Travel Association. For the reasons that you've heard, we also support the bill.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Jody Roth on behalf of Virginia Retail Federation, we also support. Thank you.
Ron Jenkins, please unmute and begin your testimony. Mr. Jenkins, please unmute and begin your testimony.
Okay, we need to move on. There was an opposition.
Good afternoon, Ron Jenkins, Virginia Loggers Association. We support the legislation. Hope you'll vote in favor. Thank you.
Any opposition?
Christian Martinez, Advocacy Specialist for CASA. Our members were happy with what was passed in 2020, and they want to keep what is currently in the Virginia Code. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Doris Kraus Mays, Virginia AFL-CIO, and we're opposed to this bill. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Lisa Stibe, on behalf of Virginia Education Association, we're opposed to the bill.
If you are in the Zoom room and wish to speak in opposition to the bill, please raise your hand electronically now.
Apologies. Sheila Hurley with the Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy. We are also opposed to this bill. Thank you.
Randy Dillard, please unmute and begin your testimony. Mr. Dillard, please unmute.
On behalf of the Laborers International Union North America, we are opposed to this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Dillard. All right. Is that it? Okay. Bill's before us.
Second.
A motion and a second to pass by indefinitely House Bill 296. All those in favor of passing House Bill 296 by indefinitely, vote aye. Opposed, nay.
Ayes 11, noes 4.
Ayes 11, noes 4. It's passed by indefinitely. All right. Delegate Freitas, you have 336 and 337.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. What House Bill 336 does is that it sets up a couple of criteria with respect to collective bargaining for public sector employees. The substantive portion is that it requires 51% of public employees in the unit to vote for the organization that's going to represent them. It requires a secret ballot. It requires that it's conducted every 2 years for recertification of the unit that's going to represent them. And then it also ensures that the requirements of this section shall not affect any collective bargaining agreement on contract that is in effect prior to July 1 of 2022. And I'd be happy to take any questions from the committee.
All right. Any questions of the paper? Okay. Are there those here who want to speak in favor of the bill?
If you're in the Zoom room and wish to speak in support of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, there are no speakers.
Anyone here want to speak in opposition to the bill?
If you're in the Zoom room and wish to speak in opposition to the bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, there are no speakers.
All right, we have a few people here. All right, welcome.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Doris Kraus Mays, Virginia AFL-CIO, and we're opposed to the bill. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Shane Riddle with the Virginia Education Association. We're opposed to the bill.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Rice, on behalf of the Virginia Professional Firefighters, we also oppose the bill.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Julia Newton, SCIU, and we oppose this bill. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Lou Spencer, Plumbers and Gas Fitters Local 5. We oppose this bill. Thank you.
All right, bill's before us.
Move to report.
All right, there's a motion to report and it's now a substitute motion.
PBI the bill.
All right, substitute motion is to pass by indefinitely House Bill 336. All those in favor of passing by indefinitely will vote aye. Those opposed, nay.
Ayes 12, noes 3.
Ayes 12, nays 3. 336 is passed by indefinitely. What do you have next?
HB 337, Mr. Chairman. What this does is essentially it sets it up to where if you're going to conduct union activities, you can't do it on company time. And if you're going to use a company or if you're going to use public sector facilities, then you have to provide compensation. It's pretty straightforward, Mr. Chairman. I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay. Questions of the patron by the committee members? All right, those who want to speak that are here, want to speak in favor of the bill, step forward.
If you're in
All
this,
right, those,
if you're in the Zoom room and wish to speak in support of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, there are no speakers in support.
all right, opposition to the bill, come forward.
If you're in the Zoom room and wish to speak in opposition, please raise your hand electronically now.
Mr. Chairman, Shane Riddle with the Virginia Education Association. We're in opposition to the bill.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Doris Kraus Mays, Virginia AFL-CIO, and we're opposed to this bill as well. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Rice, on behalf of the Virginia Professional Firefighters, we also oppose the bill.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Julia Newton, SEIU, and we also oppose the bill. Thank you.
Lou Spencer, Plumbers and Gas Fitters, Local 5, we're opposed to the bill. Thank you.
Okay, bills before us.
Move PB out of the bill.
All right, there's a motion to report, now a substitute motion. The substitute motion is to PBI, and there's a second. All right, all those in favor of passing by indefinitely House Bill 337, vote aye.
Ayes 12, noes 3.
Ayes 12, noes 3. It's passed by indefinitely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members
Do
of
you
the
have any
committee.
other bills?
Not till in the subcommittee. I'll see Senator Spurl here
All
shortly.
right. Okay.
I love you, man.
All right, 790. All right, he's not here. I think he requested that the bill go by for a week. All right, the motion is, without objection, will pass by for the week. All right. All right, now we get to House Bill 1040, Delegate Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. House Bill 1040 exempts employers with 10 employees or less from minimum wage requirements. What this does is it gives an opportunity for an employer who might have a neighborhood friend that might be friends with their own child to be able to be employed under the same circumstances as their child. Current law already exempts an employer employing their own child from minimum wage, so it kind of expands that. Also provides an opportunity for somebody who might have some sort of disability who's already a dependent of somebody else to be able to be a productive member of society, obtain employment that matches the skill set that they're being able to do. Again, this is only employers with 10 employees or less that we're exempting from minimum wage requirements, and I'll answer any questions of the committee.
So they would be exempt from the current minimum wage.
Current and future, correct. Just as, there's already several folks that are outlined, Mr. Chairman, in Virginia code that are exempt from that, including like golf caddies, sons of employers.
Just out of curiosity, where in the state can you live on $14,000 a year?
Again, Mr. Chairman, this would not be aimed at, a providing parent or a guardian of anybody or an adult. This would be more geared towards summer help where, if my child, I was able to employ my child at 40 hours during the summer under minimum wage so they could earn a few extra dollars, this would also open me up to being able to employ the neighbor's child, things of that nature. And again, it's a very narrow window of 10 employees or less. And so we're not looking to make it so that a mom or a dad or a caregiver can't make a fair wage. We're just carving out for a subsect.
All right, first Senator Spruill and Senator Evan.
Couple of questions. What happened if your child, your neighbor's child, they are doing the same job as someone who has been there for a while, the exact same job, because they child and doing the same work that you were saying, you don't want to pay them the same wage if they're doing the exact same job?
Mr. Chairman, could the senator clarify just a little bit?
You were saying about a student, for example, that could work on the job less than 10. But what happens if that student is doing the exact same job that I'm doing? I'm working for you full time as one of the 10 or what have you. And you hire a student, and that student can do the exact same job I'm doing. Are you saying you don't want to pay that student the same pay that I'm making?
Mr. Chairman, I would answer the senator with this. I'm giving the opportunity of the employer to enter into an employment contract with another party, if it's a minor, alongside that person's parents. So I'm not telling them what they can or cannot do. It's just allowing for that to happen should there be an agreement met by the employee, the employer, and other parties that may be involved. Also considering somebody who may have Down syndrome and they just want to get a job sweeping floors at the local coffee shop, and it's a family-owned business, and they have the ability to do that. If they make too much money, that it could interfere with their ability to get certain services from the state. And so it would be an opportunity to allow that person to be a contributing member and still maintain the services they are already receiving. Again, it's just a very small, and it's not a requirement. It's just allowing small businesses, should they choose to opt into this, to be exempt.
Mr. Chairman, last question.
Understand that $11 an hour is still honorary wage.
Mr. Chairman, I do understand that, and this is not for, like, I would not take a job at that, but if my daughter was 16 and wanted to work and make $10 an hour, and that's what the job was paying, and I went into an agreement with my daughter, the employer, and the three of us came to an agreement, that's what this would allow. It's not, again, it's not to say that a parent would do this, but it's just allowing a small subsection of.
Yeah, I have one last question, so. My last question was, suppose, so you're saying 10 employees or less, then so you're saying as long as they keep it at 10 or less, then you want to keep it at that rate?
All I'm doing, Mr. Chairman, all this bill does is allow them the option. That's all it does.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman?
Senator
Yeah, just to be clear, Delegate, you're describing this as affecting a small subset of workers like minors and disabled people, but in fact, the bill is not limited to minors and disabled, is it?
No, it's not, Mr. Chairman. I would answer the Senator, it's not. It's again, 10 businesses with 10 employees or less, that they have the option.
Okay, well, I just want to point out that there are 223,943 Virginia businesses, 80% of Virginia businesses that employ 10 employees or less. If you truly were trying to establish a sub-minimum wage for young people or minors, I think your bill would have to be more narrowly drawn. This bill would affect a large number of people. In my understanding, it also stops the future minimum wage increase from going into effect.
Mr. Chairman, I would again answer that is correct. It does exempt them from future minimum wage increases, but again, we're talking about just a very small defined.
80% of Virginia's worker, or 80% of Virginia workplaces. Mr. Chairman, at the appropriate time, I've got a motion.
All right, but next is Senator Edwards.
Yeah,
Following up on that, there's nothing here that says the person would be handicapped or anything like that. I mean, it says under 18, if you're employed by your parents or legal guardian, you can pay less than minimum wage. And if somebody's under 16, you can pay less than minimum wage. So you're not limiting it at all.
Mr. Chairman, I would answer the Senator. There are a lot of other provisions that are already defined, and all we're doing is expanding those provisions just a little bit. Again, this is not going to impact the workforce as a whole, because the majority of those that are employed in those businesses 10 or less, they are not going to accept a wage of less, because that's what the freedom of the free market allows for, is the individual negotiation of a wage that they are willing to work for. And so we're trying to just provide an opportunity for those who may not have the skill set that would be equal to maybe Senator Sproul, who was performing a job at a certain caliber due to experience, to be able to get into the workforce, get the experience, to be able to build their resume so that they can eventually move on to another job and make more, or maybe make more with that company.
Thank you. Next is Senator Sorrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Speaking of the bill, I just wanted to say that, we went through all of this when we negotiated the minimum wage as part of the exemptions and everything 2 years ago, and all of these exact issues he's raised were part of the discussion as we reached what I thought was a pretty delicate compromise to arrive at what we got. And, I don't think this needs to be revisited. And I would, I'd move to PBI if we're ready for that.
I'll withdraw my questions. Senator Overchain.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I was born at night, but not last night. I kind of get the drift as to where this committee might be heading on this bill, but I think it's important for somebody to stand up for rural Virginia, for small businesses, and for people who want to work, who might not otherwise have an opportunity to find a spot in the workplace. There are people who are looking for their first job, people who don't have skills, people who want to get into the workplace. I see what the delegate's doing. I don't pretend to believe that I'm going to change Senator Marsden's mind. But I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of folks who would benefit, who would really meaningfully benefit from a bill like this.
All right, Senator Marsden.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But do you foresee perhaps a time when the economy isn't what it is right now, that we're in a deep recession, we're in a deep depression, and somebody who's trying to support a family of four is forced to take a job below the minimum wage because of this bill and the fact that they work for a company with less than 10 employees?
Mr. Chairman, I would answer the senator this way. The beauty of our body here is we meet every year and we're able to readdress and address things. And should this committee actually move to report, which that's not the motion before us right now, but if they were to change that and move to report and we were to see that this was not having the impact that we were hoping for or the winds of the economy change, we could revisit this and change it. A majority of unincorporated business owners earn on average of $24,000 a year. That's less than the proposed, the next increase to minimum wage. And so when they got to pay their employees something more than what they're making, they're going to be forced to raise the rates. And in the rural areas of the Commonwealth or the mom and pop shops, they just can't afford that. And we're going to be shutting down a lot of small businesses if we do not pass this.
All right, we can hear from the audience. Quickly, 2 minutes on each side. Anyone here in favor of the bill?
If you're in,
Anyone here? If you're opposed to it, just raise your hands. All right, I don't see anyone opposed to it. Bills before the committee. The motion is to report. You made a motion. There's a substitute motion to pass by indefinitely. Is there a second? Second. All right, there's a motion and a second to pass by indefinitely. Substitute motion. All those in favor of passing by indefinitely, vote aye. All those opposed, nay.
Ayes 12, noes 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
All right, that completes basically, I believe, yes, sir. And I want to read the bills that have been assigned to Senator School's Energy Subcommittee, okay? Your House Bill 73, Delegate Ware. House Bill 74, Delegate Ware. House Bill 1112, Delegate Kilgore. House Bill 118, Delegate Freitas. House Bill 396, Delegate Sullivan. House Bill 405, Delegate Ballard. House Bill 394, Delegate Kilgore. House Bill 1204, also Delegate Kilgore. And Tennessee House Bill 1326. Senator School will announce when the meeting will be.
Mr. Chairman, we will meet 5 minutes after this meeting has to adjourn.
Okay. I believe that takes care of the docket. If there's no other business to come before the committee will rise.